Acknowledge me.
It's artificial time! Yeah!
Yes, boy!
Yes.
Gal!
Alfie from me, good old DZ. To you.
I love you.
Yatta!
Yatta!
The cream of the crop. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the unfortunate return of the Decent Wrestling Show podcast. Make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe, and expect a couple of rants throughout this episode, this return episode, this grand return episode. So first, let's just get straight into it. I'm going to review Raw and NXT. SmackDown, I can just basically skim over, nothing really much happened. Nothing really of note to really even watch, to be honest. But let's get into Raw, which celebrated its 30th anniversary, 30 years of Monday Night Raw. And we opened with, I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. One of the best theme songs in wrestling history, no doubt. His mic didn't work. But when it started working, then they got a replacement mic. Yeah, well done, whoever the production crew was there. Yeah, you did a great job, pal. But we opened really with the big segment of the night, the trial of Sami Uso, also known as Sami Zayn. This was a fantastic segment. Apparently it went overtime, but who cares? It was a fantastic segment. People complained. I heard people complaining about Roman Reigns because the segment went overtime, but none of them would complain about, you know, The Rock and Mankind for their "This Is Your Life" segment from 20 years ago, which went well over time. None of them would have complained about that, but because it's Roman Reigns, all of a sudden they are angry about it. You know, like Roman Reigns books the shows. Oh wait, he doesn't. So that led to there was a bunch of fake outrage because it went over time. The women's cage match between Bayley and Becky, which no one really cared about beforehand, but now people pretended they cared about, got cut, and people were like, oh my god, the women are treated horribly, this is disgusting, women deserve better than this, we need more women on the show. NXT, which has probably the most female representatives on the show every single week. I mean, it's like, let's say AEW has like a 3 out of 10 for promoting women. Raw and SmackDown's like a 6. NXT's like a 9. Right? Do you think any of these people tuned into NXT to support women? No, they didn't. No, they did not. Why, you ask? Because they don't actually care. This is how the internet works. People will take an issue and they will pretend that they care about it and go, oh my god, how don't you care about this? They don't either. They just want to seem like they're quote unquote good people. Good and just people. We care. You don't, Lo. That's the thing, you just don't care. Just admit you're just lying. The people that say they don't care are actually better because they're telling the truth. Unlike you, who lies and says that you care, but you don't actually. Because if you actually did care about women getting represented better, you would watch NXT every week. You would support NXT every week. It would be getting millions of viewers every single week. But it doesn't. Again, because you're liars. You don't care about the women talent. You don't give a shit. Stop pretending that you do and just sit down and shut up. That is my rant on that. Back to the trial of Sami Uso. So, Paul Heyman apparently wanted Sami Zayn to die like ECW did. Very harsh. Paul Heyman was not on Sami Uso's side. And Sami was very hurt by this. Very hurt. Good acting by Sami in this whole segment. But he was very hurt by Heyman's words. And he had no defense. That was his defense. His defense was he had no defense. And just as Roman Reigns, very angry at this, and he calls for Solo.
Solo!
Sami Zayn sitting in a chair. Solo's about to Samoan spike his throat off. And who comes to save the day? But Jey Uso. In one of my favourite moments of the year already, Jey Uso makes the save for Sami Zayn, and he put together his own video package defending Sami Zayn. And it cuts back to Sami Zayn, he's got tears in his eyes. Jey makes an impassioned defence. Throw your ones up in the sky if you want to see Sami Zayn stay in the bloodline. Jey puts his hand up, so does Jimmy Uso. Solo doesn't, and nor does Roman or Heyman, and Heyman looks very distressed. And Roman Reigns finds Sami Zayn not guilty. For now. But he doesn't want to see Sami Zayn until the Royal Rumble. Following that, we had a tag match with Judgment Day, the fake emo goths, taking on Jey and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy got hurt, so Sami Uso replaced him in the match and ended up winning with Jey, which is a nice, cool moment. But I can't say I really cared about the match because I don't want to see anything that Dominik Mysterio is involved in, because he is a charisma vacuum. He can't wrestle, that's one. He has zero charisma or comedic skills or anything. Like, the material he's been given is good if it's done by someone who's talented. He is not. It is crazy how someone like Rey Mysterio, his son can be so the complete opposite. Double his height, but half his talent. Okay, half is harsh. It's on Rey Mysterio. It's probably much less than that. But yeah, he's just terrible, and he's completely ruined the Judgment Day. I don't even know what the Judgment Day are anymore. Okay, they used to be led by Edge, and that made sense, and now they're just a bunch of emo goths who hang out together because they all like the colour purple. That's what I'm given from it. And they literally, Dominik Mysterio just completely ruins the group because I can't take them seriously. I can't take Damian Priest, Finn Balor or Rhea Ripley seriously anymore because they're hanging out with Dominik Mysterio. Why would I take them seriously? They're a bunch of jokes now. It's stupid, and yeah, Judgment Day are skippable, and which is sad, which has made Raw unwatchable for the past 3 months because, an hour of the show has been dedicated to Damage Control, which just doesn't work. Individually, they're fine, although I'm not the biggest Dakota fan. Bayley's fine, and Io's great. But I just don't care for Io being a lackey, and a Damage Control doesn't work. So that's an hour of the show dead, and then you have another hour of the show dedicated to Judgment Day, who are awful. So basically 2 hours of Raw is genuinely awful every single week because it's so focused on these two crap factions. Another small rant there. We then had a segment with L.A. Knight. Yeah!
And that's not an insult, that is just a fact of life.
He came out and he said, "Let me talk to you." And he cut a promo on Bray Wyatt and the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, which take place at the Royal Rumble on Saturday, January 28th. And regarding this Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, which takes place at the Royal Rumble on January 28th, against Bray Wyatt, I don't know how it's going to work, I don't know what the rules are going to be for it. But he was going on about that, and he challenged any legend to come out and fight him. And The Undertaker, American badass version, came out on his motorbike. I don't think he said anything, but L.A. Knight was willing to give him a pass. He wants to stay ready for his Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, which takes place on January 28th at Royal Rumble. He wanted to get ready for that, so he let Undertaker pass. But then Bray Wyatt showed up, and they cornered him into getting back in the ring. Undertaker got him by the throat, threw him into Bray, Sister Abigail, and then we had a nice stare down between Bray and Undertaker. Undertaker whispered something in Bray Wyatt's ear, and I can only assume the wise words were, "Come on, baby, I am Waka." It can be the only explanation that will happen there. We then had a fantastic segment. Another one I want to talk about is the Degeneration X and Imperium segment. So DX came out with Kurt Angle, which was a great moment in itself. And as they were getting to do their shtick, Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci, and Gunther interrupted. And we got a great stare down between Triple H and Gunther. And, you know, he's getting really intense, and then Triple H just stands back and,
I'm retired, dude.
just saying, Gunther versus Triple H, whew, that would have slapped. Do you know what else would have slapped? Gunther versus Shawn Michaels. That would have been a fantastic match. Crowd chanted for HBK, HBK.
I'm too old.
X-Pac doesn't want it either. And Road Dogg, with my favourite moment of the night, he goes,
Well, I'll tell you what, who am I kidding? I'm not going to fight him.
just love that he starts to walk up and then just, no, actually no. But they make a group decision. Kurt Angle will fight you.
No, I won't. Nope.
Because, you know, he would absolutely be murdered. But in their prime, that match would have banged. But only if there was someone who could fight them. Cue Seth frickin' Rollins. And Shawn Michaels starts singing this song after it ends in a fantastic moment.
Whoa!
And then they're like, oh, well, it's 3 against 1. I wonder if there's a tag team that can help. Cue the Street Profits. We then get Teddy Long come out and make the match official. Player. A tag team match player. And then we get Kurt Angle as a special guest referee. Hilarious segment, worth checking out on YouTube. Fantastic stuff. We then had the 6-man tag with Imperium taking on Seth frickin' Rollins and Street Profits. And it was a very good match. Really, really great match. Seth Rollins eventually won, pinning Giovanni Vinci. And I hope someday we get Seth Rollins and Gunther in a singles match, because that would be really, really good. We'll skip to the ending of the show. We had Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. No disqualification. It was going well. It was a good match. And it ended, though, when Brock Lesnar, the farmer boy, came out and he laid out Bobby Lashley with an F5. He then F5'd Theory onto Bobby Lashley, which means Theory won. And then the show quickly ended as they ran out of time. Now that's Raw done with. Let's get on to NXT, my favourite show of the week every single week. First, we'll talk about the Grayson Waller and Bron Breakker stuff. Very good stuff. Grayson Waller showed up at the Performance Center and started a fight with Bron Breakker. And then on the show, Waller taunted Bron, "Doggy, get out here." Ow, ow, ow. And Bron Breakker they have a scuffle, and Bron Breakker end up spearing through the barricade. I'm excited for Bron and Waller, and I really hope Waller wins, because I think he's one of the most talented people in wrestling right now. Fantastic heel, great at being a dickhead, I love it, and he should definitely be the one to knock off Bron and become the NXT champion. We had Tiffany Stratton taking on Indy Hartwell. Tiffany won. She just looks like a megastar, like incredibly beautiful, incredibly cool attire, incredibly cool entrance, incredibly cool vibe. She just screams megastar, and she's really good in the ring as well, especially considering the amount of experience she has. And she won with this absolutely pitch perfect moonsault. Like she jumped from the second rope to the top and then did just a beautiful moonsault. It looked fantastic. The gymnastic background really helps her. And yeah, she definitely, I'm happy she beat Indy, because Indy's kind of boring, to be honest, to me. But Tiffany picks up the win. Fantastic. Push her to the damn moon, because she is mega talented. We then got Chase U celebrating Thea Hale's Scrappy Dappy Doo. Thea Hale's first victory. Andre Chase is hilarious.
Did somebody say Andre Chase?
JD McDonough is the one who interrupted them, called them all losers. Duke had to hold Scrappy Dappy Doo Thea Hale back. And then we got Andre Chase.
Did somebody say Andre Chase
versus JD McDonough. Great match. Won a few minutes, but fantastic stuff. Andre Chase is fantastic in the ring.
Did somebody say Andre Chase?
And I don't need to tell you how good JD McDonough is, because you know how good he is. JD ended up winning after a fantastic back and forth match. If that's on YouTube, definitely go check out that highlights of that match, because it was really, really good stuff. But it was then later announced that Chase U will be getting a chance to enter Vengeance Day in a three-way tag against, I believe, the Schism and Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. The winner of that gets added into the match at Vengeance Day, which I'm hoping Chase U gets into it, because Chase U in front of a big crowd is going to be a lot of fun. Imagine the whole crowd chanting along, you know, the C-H-A-C-E-U. What does that spell? Chase U? It's crazy how far they've come, you know, because they were heels at first and now they're big baby faces. Fantastic, fantastic faction. We then got Fallon Henley and Kiana James showing up as a team. They faced Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. Decent little match. I'm actually liking Fallon and Kiana as a team. Kiana is really good. She's one who definitely showed at Deadline that she is a fantastic talent. And Fallon's kind of growing on me a little bit. They'll take on Casey and Caden at Vengeance Day for the tag titles. The only disappointing thing was Ivy Nile was pinned, which I didn't quite like. Paxley was right there. I don't think Ivy should be getting pinned on random episodes of NXT. I think she's too good for that. I hope to see more of Ivy Nile, because she is just jacked to the gills and she's really talented, and I really like her unique look. We got a barber segment between Apollo Crews. Yeah, you try understanding that one too. And Carmelo Hayes. A good back and forth between these. These segments are always really good. And it's set up a 2 out of 3 falls match at Vengeance Day, which is going to slap. Creed Bros.
The Creed brothers
Beat Hank Walker and Drew Gulak. Very good match. Hank Walker very impressed. He had a really cool wheelbarrow move into an armbar. So I'm very impressed by him. But this was a surprisingly very good match. And Creed brothers are just insane, bro. How are they not on the main rosters tearing it up already? These guys are more than ready. They are so good. They'll take on Indus next week, Veer and Sangha, which is going to be a fantastic match. I'm excited for that one. Then we got another segment with Tony D and Stax. I love this storyline so much. Tony D'Angelo is one of my favourite characters in wrestling. It's so unique to everything, and just this amount of outside stuff you can do with it is fantastic. I'm just loving seeing this development. I do want to see more people join his faction though. Stevie Turner will make a debut next week, and I'm hoping she continues bringing the puns every week, because bad puns are my fucking favourite thing. Bad puns are great. And yeah, Stevie Turner, she rules. She was great in this. She's 2 steps above and 2 steps ahead.
I am 2 levels above and 2 steps ahead. I am the 4-dimensional superstar.
We then got Casey and Caden taking on Alba Fire and Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka is good, man. She is so talented. I do think she needs a bit of character development to move ahead forward, but in the ring she is fantastic. Like, she is really, really impressing me in recent weeks. And it's great to see her development, you know. She's only just made it onto TV like a month or so ago, and she's already impressing, so great to her. We then got a segment with Dijak and Wesley. Dijak was something like, I want justice for the justice of the justice, and your justice will be my justice at Vengeance Justice, Justice Day, Justice, where's Justice? I have literally no idea what Dijak's character is. He just says justice at the end of everything and thinks that's a character. I mean, the match will be good, at least. I hope Wesley wins, but, you know, I'm sure Dijak will justice his North American justice. Throughout this show, we had Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. It seemed like they had broken up. They cut an impassioned promo on each other in this the Championship Summit with Roxanne Perez. Really good stuff. I genuinely thought they had broken up.
This has all been one big ruse.
And it turned out that Toxic Attraction was just a little plan to knock down Roxanne Perez's peg or two, put her through a table. A fantastic final segment, fantastic show, had a great story throughout it, really cool characters, good matches, good wrestling. good stuff. NXT delivers yet again. So now I'm going to talk about Actress Girls. I'm going to work on reviews for the 16th of December and 29th of December shows. I've written them up, I just need to record and edit them. But I am worried about, because they're very iffy with footage being used. I'm still going to make MVs, don't worry about that. I'm just not going to promote them as much. But I'm going to now talk about the 9th of January Kitazawa Town Hall show. I think I might only do reviews for the big shows from now on, the Kurikan shows. Or any other like really big shows that they do. But I'm going to talk about the Kitazawa Town Hall show now for you. So we had an opening match. So of course we had Mizu with the Pika Pad, as usual. We opened with Go Chica taking on Mari. Mari won in 12 seconds with a headlock after Go Chica tapped out. So she wanted a rematch. Mari unimpressed. But rematch still happened. The match was fine. Mari ended up winning. Nothing spectacular, but it was fine stuff. It was your usual veteran versus rookie match. Go Chica is really learning, but I just think she needs to find more explosiveness in her, like her comebacks and her moves. She didn't impress me much at the Kurikan show, and she didn't impress me much here. But I'm hoping that she can improve, because I liked her more in her first few months than she is now. But I'm looking forward to seeing her continued improvements over time. We then had Nagisa Shiotsuki teaming with Sakura Mizushima representing Update Plus, taking on Act and Wild Bunny. And they have completed two different vibes. Wild Bunny, crazy, cute, Act, drinking on the job. It was a very funny match. Wild Bunny was not a great team match. She actually held Act back for some chops from Nagisa. So they didn't get on very well, but it was a really fun match. Sakura is developing so well in the ring, and she really shows her heart and passion in her performances, and Bunny and Act were especially a crazy team. And what is a crazy moment is that Sakura Mizushima pinned Act Yasukawa. Now this is historic, because this is the Act Yasukawa's first pinfall loss since coming back to pro wrestling, right? She hasn't lost in like 10 years. I mean, Wild Bunny has lost her alter ego, but Act hasn't lost. So that was a huge moment for Sakura to pick up a win over Act, and that just shows big things for Sakura in the future. Act did not take the loss particularly well. We then had a tag team match with Ayana Iri back to her pink gear, this time for one night only. She teamed with Mi-chan, number one idol Mi-chan, to take on the Speed Queen with the greatest theme song of all time, Misa Matsu, and Natsumi Sumikawa. Misa and Sumikawa looked like a fantastic team. And it was a joy to see Mi and Ayano team up again, and Mi just smothering people with her bear. She is very evil, but in such a cute way. It was a really good match. We got to see Misa's moonsault again, and great tag match. Really, all four gave it their all, and he put on a really fun encounter. And Misa Matsu and Mi especially stood out and impressed the most. And great stuff, great match. Definitely worth checking that one out. But then we had the Battle Royal. I think it was 13 entrants, a staggered Battle Royal, so Royal Rumble like, although they entered every 30 seconds. We entered number one with Charisma Genius Ren-san. Ren-sama. And Marino Saihara, or the Squirrel Girl, was the second entrant with her amazing theme song. It was a lot of fun to begin with. Ren-san is just hilarious. I absolutely adore her. And then number 3 was Cat Mask Kaliko. We got a great photo of a cat in a headlock, as Ren-san's facial expressions are hilarious. Hilarious. I love her so much. Naru came in at number 4. Then Kanamika came in at number 5, Kaliko's teammate. And then Haruka Ishikawa was in at 6 and got beaten up. Marina got eliminated first, sadly. Sad squirrel noises. Kanamik then turned on Kaliko and got, Kanamik, Ren-san and Naru pinned Kaliko, and Ren-san again with great facial expressions here, as expected. We then got the heartful Asako Miya came in. She waved to her adoring crowd, and then they all beat her up. All the wrestlers then beat Asako up. Number 8, the Magic Koala Kwara Fujimoto came in at number 8, and Asako and Koala both got eliminated very quickly. Then Yufa came in at number 9. I'm going to talk about her in my review of the 29th of December show, but she looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. Rockstar, Kira Ann came in at number 10. Kyoko Y was number 11. Kira Ann got eliminated after everyone put a submission on her. Poor Kira Ann. And then the final entrant was our naughty golden retriever Chiaki. Kanamik and Yufa then got eliminated. Then Kyoko Y was out. Then Ishikawa was eliminated by Naru. Then Naru did something great. She did Senashori's spaceship move. Yeah, that was an awesome moment. Naru is fantastic. Like, if you've seen her moonsault, which is incredible as well. She can do the spaceship. She has so many cool moves. She is a fantastic talent. But in the end, Ren-san, who was letting Naru and Chiaki fight it out, and as soon as they both got knocked out, Ren-san came in and pinned them both. A sneaky and smart win of Ren-san. Lots of fun this Battle Royal was. Ren-san was amazing to watch. Ren-san then taunted them both after the match.
1、2、3! なるちゃんから3カウント取ったのも 1、2、3! 千秋ちゃんから3カウント取ったのも
And then they all beat Ren-san up. Ah, hilarious. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
ありがとうございましたみんなファイヤー
We then had the main event, which I'm going to skim over. It was Alan, Maru, and Bulldozer Todoro taking on Natsuki, Miku Ono, and Koki. To be totally honest, this was not really my kind of match, and I didn't really enjoy it. I don't really like the style, and the chain stuff ruined every match, and it went a little too long as well. Alan Lowe really found herself in the ring. I thought she had a solid performance, but overall was not really my style of match. But overall, the 9th of January AWG Kitazawa Town Hall show was a lot of fun. Ren-san gets my MVP, and my match of the night, I'm going to give it to the Battle Royal. Fantastic stuff, worth checking out. Again, subscribe to Actress Goals, check it out. Great, great stuff. We also do have an upcoming schedule for Actress Goals as they get ready for their next shows. So I'm going to list them here. The 29th of January, Act Wrestling Step 13. Mari will be taking on Kira Ann, which could be a good match. Kira Ann has been training hard for that. Mari takes on Naho Yamada. Update Plus, take on Natsumi Sumikawa, Koki, and Go Chica, which could be a really, really good match. Another one, Yufa and Natsuki team up again to take on Marino, Saihara, and Chiaki. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then they got a big main event, Miko Ono, Misamatsu, and Ayano Iri in a triple threat match. Boy, that match is going to slap heavy. Then on the 11th of February, they've announced the two shows, an evening and a night show. So the first one, Kyoko Y is going to be taking on Naru, which could be a good match. Mari taking on Marino Saihara, again, could be a really good match. Misamatsu and Naho Yamada team up once again to take on Mi and Sakura Mizushima, again, going to be a banger. One match I'm not interested in is Maru, Alan, and Todoro taking on Koki, Chiaki, and Natsuki Sumikawa. But a good main event, Miko Ono and Natsuki taking on Act and Ayano Iri representing Beast's Rebellion. The night show includes Nene Arahata taking on Naho Yamada, could be good. Natsumi Sumikawa and Go Chica taking on Natsuki and Nagisa Shiotsuki, could be good. Miko Ono and Koki taking on Mari and Mi, could be very, very good. But two matches I'm super excited for. Act and Ayano Iri representing Beast's Rebellion again, taking on Misamatsu and Naru. Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. And then Yufa taking on Rensan. We get another Rensan match, and she's taking on Yufa. It's going to be crazy fun. I'm super excited for that one. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm expecting a lot of fun. And they haven't got announced full cards for the next shows after that, but the 17th of February at Step 14, we do have 2 announced matches. The tournament matches, Koki takes on Ayano Iri, and Natsuki takes on Natsumi Sumikawa. Both could be really good, especially that Natsuki Sumikawa match. And then on the 23rd of February, Misa Matsu takes on the winner of Koki and Ayano Iri, and Miko Wono takes on the winner of Natsumi Sumikawa and Natsuki. And then after that is the 12th of March, Kurikan Hall Show, which will include the finals of that tournament, which is hopefully going to be Misa Matsu and Miko Ono. I'm hoping for, because that match would be 5 stars. I also want to quickly talk about RIBBONMANIA. So, RIBBONMANIA took place on 31st December, so the end of last month. And it truly was a fantastic show. Definitely recommend checking that show out. 4 matches really stood out to me, but the whole card was very good. The 4 matches stood out to me was the 6-woman tag with Kismet Princess taking on Tei Honma, Maika Ozaki and Curie. Great match, worth checking out. And then after that, it was a tag match between Makoto and Hamiko Hoshi taking on Hikari Shimizu and Keo Matsushita. Who I think is going to have a huge 2023. She has fantastic talent. And Makoto and Hamiko are going to be challenging for the tag titles in March, which should be really good. I'm not the biggest fan of Hamiko Hoshi. I do like her, but I'm not the biggest fan. But Makoto is fantastic, and she just looks like an absolute star. And I'm really enjoying the team of Hikari, Shimizu and Keiho. Keiho had new purple and gold gear, looking like a Saints Row character. Fantastic. Because Saints Row is a fantastic game. Well, 1 to 4 is, and I do not count the crappy reboot as a Saints Row game, because it is absolute disgrace to the series and should never exist. Don't even think about that game. Terrible. I hate them all for making that. But the 2 main events superbly delivered. Hikaru Shida and Ibuki Hoshi continued to show their amazing teamwork as they took on Big Dukai. I gave it 4.25 stars. For the Ice Ribbon tag titles, Hikaru Shida and Ibuki Hoshi retained. Definitely worth checking out. Yuna Manase continues to be one of the most underrated talents in the world. She is an absolute superb pro wrestler. And the singles match between Shida and Yuna Manase would be fantastic. And same with Shida versus Ibuki Hoshi. They fought after the match, and it is announced that if Ibuki Hoshi loses any singles matches in the next 3 months, then she'll be stripped of the championship. She hasn't lost yet, so she's on a roll at the moment. But the main event, which ended up being my match of the year for 2022, I gave it 5 stars for the Ice X Infinity Championship. Saori Anou took on Asahi. Asahi, who was also my Joshi of the year for 2022, and hopefully an even bigger 2023 for Asahi, the Sunshine Princess of Ice Ribbon. These two went at it. Went about 20 minutes did the match, so it didn't go like an epic 50 minutes. They're usually in Stardom, which is a big problem with Stardom, is they like to make their main events go like 40 plus minutes to make these forced epics. But this Asahi Saori match was the match of the year for 2022 for me. They worked perfectly. Asahi once again proved she is probably the best Joshi wrestler in the world. Her passion shined through so much. There were so many moments where the match could have gone either way, and yeah, again, like unlike Stardom, this wasn't like a 40-minute forced epic with a bunch of stupid no-selling. You know, oh, you do a German suplex off the top rope. Oh, that didn't affect me at all. I'm now making my 4-minute comeback, and completely ruins the match. Asahi, by the way, she is the absolute queen of selling. Little details she adds in, always a pleasure, especially with like her arm limb selling. Fantastic. It's one of the reasons why she's my favourite. Here is a little compilation of her recent selling in a match against Tei Honma, just to prove my point.
Nobody's
yeah, there was no stupid no sells or head landing, or, you know, oh, they landed on the next 16 times, that makes the match good, or just hitting the same finisher 2,000 times. This was just using every move in your arsenal to put someone away, and Asahi just finding that little bit of strength each time to just keep fighting on before finally succumbing to Sayori in the end. And I love the little moment, the moment that really made it was after the 3 count. Asahi just raised her shoulder just after to show that she just lost by the skin of her teeth. Fantastic match, 5 stars. Definitely go out of your way to check that out. And since then, Ice Ribbon have been doing the dojo shows, and they've been a lot of fun. So we've had some of the highlight matches for me recently was the New Year one, which we had Ibuki Hoshi take on Nao Ishikawa, which was a great match. Asahi take on Nao Ishikawa in another great match. Nao Ishikawa has been fantastic this year. And then we also got Ibuki Hoshi and Kaiho having a fantastic match. And recently Asahi teamed up with Saran to take on Momotani and Kiku in another really fun match. The dojo shows are always worth a watch, and if you subscribe to Ice Ribbon's membership on YouTube, you can watch them. A lot of fun every single week. They air every Saturday. So definitely go and sub to Ice Ribbon and go check these shows out, because they're a ton of fun every single week. Thank you for listening to the Decent Wrestling Show. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll try and add timestamps in the description below. Also, if you could comment something to show that you've watched the entirety of the video, which means this will receive 0 comments. Take care, and arrivederci.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
バイバイ。おやすみエクスプレス。